Hey guys, Chad the Dad here, black belt under DC Fighters, and I am an ex-martial athlete. And today I'm here to talk to you about how long it took me to get my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. So the short answer is it took me about 8.5 years. I started in August of 2014 and I just recently got my black belt in Rio de Janeiro from Daniel Cabral, and I got that in mid-March of 2023. It took me almost 9 years to get there. So what does that path look like really? When I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I already had plenty of years of grappling before that, okay? So I started wrestling when I was in 7th grade, and I was an active competitor in all sorts of sports even before wrestling. But got into wrestling around 7th grade and then took that all the way into my first year of college. And then when I left that, I went to MMA because I still had like the urge for that grappling and that fight. And so I started some MMA training, and I didn't like getting hit in the face so much. So that translated over to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I kind of stuck with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I spent a year training very hard. And I remember right before I was about to sign my contract with this school, I told them I wasn't signing my contract to go for another year, and he took the blue belt away from me, and I thought that was kind of weird. So I told that story to my next gym, and the gym said, okay, no problem, we'll evaluate you. And they kept me a white belt for another 1.5 years. So I think I ended up doing like 2.5 years as a white belt before I got my blue belt. But at my blue belt was when I got really sick. I got physically ill, I got mentally ill, training kind of declined. I stopped competing, and that was very difficult. However, 2021 is where my health started to go back up. So I had been a purple belt for a very long time, started competing again, and in the year 2022 alone, I had 46 different divisions I competed in, and I did very well, and that was purple belt and brown belt. And I think competing really launches your promotions. Competition blue belt has more of an objective judgment of where they sit in the rankings, right? So if they go to every single blue belt competition and win every single one, you know they're probably ready for the next level, right? And there's some gray area with how we promote, because it's up to every black belt or professor to promote how they see fit amongst their students. There have been people who have been like 4-year black belts. There are people who have been 15-year black belts. And really the journey is each person's own, right? It's very individual. Everybody has a personal path that they're taking, why they do jiu-jitsu, what their goal is with jiu-jitsu, right? And the professor usually takes that into account. There's not a universal consensus on exactly how we should promote. It's very much up to each school, each academy, and the way they run things. So if you're looking to accelerate your black belt journey, being a good competitor is one way to prove your skill set. Remember, each belt is not only a skill set, it's also what you carry with you. Because when you're part of the gym, your professor is looking at you not only as how you compete, but how you carry yourself. If you go and compete and you're just a freak athlete and you're killing it, but you don't show respect and honor when you win, that black belt might not want you to represent him as a purple belt. So I think competing really forces your professor to look at you in a different light to see where you're hanging. So if you're beating everybody who trains at other schools at your same level, then you might need to go to the next level. However, personality, discipline, respect, how you treat the team, right? Are you in it for yourself? Are you in it for the team, right? If he gives you that black belt, are you just gonna go join another team? Are you gonna go do something different for yourself? He's looking for a bit of loyalty. Because if you promote somebody to black belt, the likelihood of that black belt opening up a school in your territory, right, that it gets a little bit wishy-washy, right? So they put a lot of effort into you. They've gotten you to the point where they're looking at you for black belt. So they're looking at loyalty, they're looking at so many different factors. Take that into consideration. It took me 8.5 years to get my black belt, being a very, very active competitor, having wrestled for most of my youth, and having MMA experience, having wrestling experience, have some college wrestling experience, and it still took me 8.5 years. That just gives you an idea of how long this journey is going to be when you have a lifetime, right? So don't be in a rush. Just enjoy the journey, enjoy jiu-jitsu, love what it does for you, and try to get away from anything else that takes away from that journey. Love you guys. See you next time.